Hey there and welcome back to the Full Later Life, the channel where we encourage one another to live our best lives in our 40s, our 50s, our 60s and beyond. And guess what? Today it's new shoe day. Well, actually it's double new shoe day because I've actually scored myself 2 new pairs of running shoes. The Pegasus 41s, which is giving my everyday runner, and the Asics Trabuco 13s, which would be for trail runs. And I sure needed a new pair of shoes because it was that time. This is not going to be an in-depth review of the shoes that I bought because, to be fair, this is not really a product review channel, and there are actually other channels that do a really good job at reviewing shoes to the nth level. People like the Run Testers or Ed Budd or Ben Parks, and if you're into that kind of thing, then I'd recommend checking those channels out. And to be fair, I can't be dropping $150 plus on every new shoe that comes out, and also I don't usually buy my shoes the minute they hit the market either, so by the time I did make a review video it would be out of date by then. But what I will get into is how do I actually go about buying my shoes. Because at 54 years old, it's not as though I'm going to be representing Great Britain in the Olympics anytime soon or lining up with the elites at the Boston Marathon. But I do need a running shoe that is good, that is safe, that is comfortable, but I don't need the latest technology. And so what I do is I tend to wait for the sales. And that means I usually end up getting last year's model of shoe, which is great because, you know, there's nothing that different between this year's release and last year's release. And sometimes I do get lucky and I end up getting one of the latest shoes if I get a special discount code or holiday code. So long as it's not some measly 10%, it's got to be like a substantial discount. Otherwise, I'm just going to get last year's model because that's going to work for me just fine. And I actually keep 3 types of shoe in my rotation. One of them is my everyday running shoe, then I have my trail shoe, and then my race day shoe. Every single one of them I bought at a discount, including my Nike Vaporfly 3, the super shoe as they say. And the reason I got that at a discount was because I bought it just as the version 4 came out. And so I ended up getting this $250 shoe, and it only cost me $160, which is a real bargain in my book. And honestly, the Vaporfly 3 is a fantastic shoe, especially at the price that I bought it for. And do I really need the latest shoe every single time I run? I mean, sure, I'm trying to run a marathon, but when I run a marathon, it's just an achievement to finish at my age, to be honest. And sure, I'd love to get a personal best whenever I can, but I don't necessarily need to spend a fortune on shoes just to do it. And so my process of buying running shoes is actually quite simple, really. I kind of wait until I get through about halfway through my shoes life, and then I start scoping out the sales from all the different websites. You know, it doesn't matter the brand, Nike, Adidas, On, Asics, all of them. And I just check out what sales are on and what I can buy, and then I will buy them ready for when my shoe runs out of its life. And the great thing is I go to a running club, and sometimes they actually have the companies come and demo the shoes. So I'm actually really getting familiar with what's on the market and what works for me and what doesn't. And so I'm not really that worried about buying a bad shoe online because over the years that I've been running, I've kind of figured out what works for me and what doesn't. And so to my trail shoe, and before I bought these ones I had a pair of Hoka Speed Goats which I really loved actually, and I had them for about 3 years, but they've got to the point now where they've gotten old and actually quite dangerous to wear. And I was actually thinking about buying the latest updated version of them. I mean, I actually like the shoe so much, but then I went to the Asics site, and at the time there was a Labor Day sale, and I also had a coupon code, and so I ended up getting a huge like 30-35% discount, and so I really couldn't pass that up. And I've actually been using an Asics road shoe for quite a while now, and I actually kind of love it, so I guess I can't really go wrong with it. I'm pretty sure it's going to work out well for me. Well, and so the thing about buying from a sale on a sportswear site is that you're generally left with whatever's left over from last year's line or whatever's at the end of a product run, and so you may not be able to get your first choice of colors or styles. And take these Pegasus 41s for example. I mean, this shade of blue is probably not my first choice of what I'd ever pick for a running shoe, but $85 for a $140 shoe, well, I'm going to take that deal any day. And to be honest, I'm not walking the catwalk in Milan in them, I'm out there running with them, so what's the color even matter? They feel good, they run good, and that's the most important thing when it comes to buying a running shoe. So why is it that I'm always looking for a deal when it comes to my running shoes? And the reason is when you start running seriously, you're going to burn through running shoes real fast. And at $150 plus a pop, well, that's a lot of money to be spending on shoes each year. I mean, $150, that's like 10 pints of craft ale right there, or 3 tanks of gas. And do I actually need the latest shoe? You know, I'm not an elite runner, so, and is the technology from last year to this year that much significantly better? You know what, I'm going to find out in next year when those go on sale too. because your everyday running shoes are going to last 3, maybe 500 miles at the most, and then you're going to notice a lot of degradation. The midsole is going to collapse and start compressing. And even though you don't see it, because it may look the same, you're going to feel a difference. You're not going to get such a good spring return in your step. You know, the shocks go up to your knee more, and you know, it's not going to be as stable or as safe, and so you might find you get knee injuries more. You might find it easier to roll your ankle, or even because it doesn't return so well, you might end up tripping over the uneven pavement or a tree root or something. But that's what happened to me recently. You know, I was running on a shoe that was towards the end of its life, and I ended up just tripping over a root because my shoe didn't bounce up as much as I thought it was, and next thing I know, I'm on flat on the face on the floor, and my knee is just all scuffed up. And so that wasn't a pleasant experience. And so it's really important to take care of your feet and your body. So best to retire your running shoes before they retire you. You know, and just because you've retired your running shoes, that does not mean they are entirely useless. I mean, you can still perfectly well use them to casually stroll around town or just walk around and do errands with. And because you've broken them in and your feet have got so used to them, they will actually be really comfortable.
Those must be comfortable shoes. I bet you could walk all day in shoes like that and not feel a thing. I wish I had shoes like that.
My feet hurt.
You know, just don't do anything high impact with them, that's all. Well, I'm going to go lace up those shoes, try them on and see how they feel. Well, as this is a trail area, I'm going to try these trail run shoes first, and I'm going to just try them out around these trails around here and just see how they feel. And then I'll go up to the street up there and try out the Pegasus and see how they feel on the road. Well, that was my first trail run in these Asics shoes, and I've got to say, they are pretty darn good. I mean, they feel lightweight, they feel comfortable, they seem rugged to take on any terrain. I've got to say though that the Hokas I had before, probably a lot more durable, probably going to last a lot longer, and could probably do with more rugged terrain than these ones can, but these are fine for every kind of trail that I do. So anyway, good test for the first run. I'm going to be really happy with these, and I think now I'm going to go up to the street and try out my Pegasus 41s and see how they do. Alright then, so now I'm on the street and I'm going to check out these Nike Pegasus that I bought on sale, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be a pretty standard Pegasus kind of run. I've had multiple iterations of the shoe, so I'm not expecting any surprises, but who knows. I'm going to give it a quick run and we'll see how it goes. Well, did I get a great shoe for a bargain price, or was I left with a dud? Well, I can quite categorically say, yes, I got a real bargain for this shoe. It was like pretty much half price, and I went for a run in it. It feels no better or worse than really any other previous iterations of the Pegasus series. Maybe a slightly bit plusher feel maybe, but it's pretty much an everyday running shoe. I'm not going to be running races in it anytime soon, or even PRing in it perhaps, but it's you know, for going out on a daily run or a little jaunt with the run club, it's perfect, and it's at a great price. And I wouldn't say it's any better or worse than any other shoe I bought. I mean, my last shoe was an Asics shoe, and I bought that at a bargain price, and I like that one a lot. And if it goes on sale again, I'll probably pick one up. But this Pegasus 41, yep, I would say it was an absolute bargain for what I've got for it. And so I'm really happy with it. Now I'd love to know what you guys think. Are you the kind of person that loves to have the latest gear the moment it drops? Or are you like me who likes to find the bargain? I'm sure that'd be a great discussion to have down there in the comments. And if you like this video, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video. Now I'm off to just finish my run, and I'll see you next time.